Well, I tried to do the twist, but I got tangled up. It takes two to tangle with a paper cup. There's a brand new dance that's weak in the kitchen. I can do the locomotion, but where's the beef? The bony moroni just gets stuck in my teeth. Perhaps a mashed potato's great, but why need we discriminate? To the food, to the food, to the food, to the food.
Welcome to this month's version of Junk Food on the Road. Today we are talking about...
Australia.
It's a country. It's a continent.
It's both. So we went to Australia a while ago, but we're recording this now.
Yeah, we're behind.
Yeah, we are. So what can we say? I mean, Australia it's very unique when it comes to food because it is so isolated from the rest of the world.
But it does have a lot of really good ethnic food.
Yeah, it does, for sure. I mean, there's a huge Asian community in Sydney, right?
The Malaysian sort of fast food place that we ate at was amazing.
I don't remember that.
It was sort of near that observatory. And you sort of went downstairs and there was like harvest table type seating and you went and you ordered your stuff. And
I remember that now.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was really good. And then there's two words, caramello koalas.
So yeah, Australia has its own candy by far.
Yeah.
Like it has some really original candies.
Mass-produced candy that you can't find anywhere else.
Although most of it's made by Cadbury nowadays.
Yeah, but Cadbury owns everything.
Yeah. So, but from what I understand, they haven't changed that much of it. And then there's a few candies that cross over into New Zealand as well, so it might be kind of difficult. We might get a few of these wrong, or we might mention them because we're going to record in the future a New Zealand episode as well.
Yeah.
So
it'll be the avocado episode.
The avocado episode. And there's a few other things. There's pineapple ripes are from New Zealand too.
Are they really?
I think so, yeah.
I always thought they were Australian.
I could be wrong. See, that's this thing. So, but caramel koalas are definitely Australian.
Very, very definitely. As are koalas.
Koalas are they smell like eucalyptus, which is wonderful about koalas.
Because they eat eucalyptus,
yes.
And you are what you eat. I have never eaten eucalyptus or koala. Just let me get that clear. I've eaten some crazy meats, but not koala.
Not koala. We hugged a koala.
Yeah.
Cuddled a koala.
Her name was Violet.
Yeah, she was cute.
Like Violet Crumble.
But another, I believe, Australian candy.
I believe it is.
Yeah. So.
Here's a confession. I've never had a Violet Crumble.
You don't like those? It's like a crunchy bar.
A sticky?
Yeah, like toffee.
Oh, I don't like things that are sticky in my teeth.
Yeah, so I don't think you'd like a Violet Crumble.
Yeah, I like caramello koalas a lot.
Yeah.
And Tim Tams.
Tim Tam. Now the Tim Tam Slam.
Yeah.
I think this was the trip where I learned about this. I don't think this was an internet thing. I think I learned this on this trip.
I've had Tim Tam Slams before.
So what a Tim Tam Slam is you take a Tim Tam cookie from Australia and
which are awesome.
Which are pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's funny because people are obsessed with them and I'm like, they're good. They're not amazing.
I think they're amazing.
So, but you take a Tim Tam and then you take, generally it's coffee. I've done it with tea and I've heard hot chocolate's okay too.
Chris doesn't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so.
His body is a temple for sugar.
For sugar. So what you do is you take your cookie and you stick half of it into your drink or the bottom part of it into your drink. And then the top part you put in your mouth and you suck the drink through the cookie.
Let's take a little nibble off the end first.
Yeah, maybe.
It just helps things flow a little better.
That's possible. I could see that. But yeah, then you drink your drink through your cookie pretty much. And you get the flavor of this sort of chocolate icing sort of melts and everything. And eventually that cookie sort of disintegrates and you don't want to do it for too long or else eventually you'll just end up with a handful of mush. But it's actually a fun little way to enjoy a Tim Tam. And you can look it up online. On our website on the blog somewhere, if you looked up Tim Tam Slam, you'd probably find instructions on how to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I did a thing on Tim Tam Slams.
Wow.
So there's.
It's not that hard.
It's not hard, but
use the cookie as a straw.
Pretty much.
But not with a cold beverage, because that won't work.
The other thing that they have in Australia, which they went out of business, but it was they were just finishing up while we were there, is Dairy Lee, which is a chocolate bar brand. And we went to one of the stores, and it was okay. But they were fairly well known. The other, Whitakers, is quite popular in Australia as well, which is they have Whitakers chocolate slabs. And they have all kinds of different ones. And I believe I got a few different flavors that I hadn't seen before in other places. And so those are pretty good. That's kind of an Australian thing.
It's funny because Australia is, I mean, compared to Canada, not a cold country, but yet it has excellent chocolate.
Yeah.
Normally in sort of warmer places, you don't find very good chocolate.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that they get that from the British.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
Yeah.
But it survives and it does really well.
Yeah. It was in general, food in Australia was pretty good. They also had a lot of, again, we were talking about Asian stuff, but they had a Moss Burger. We went to Moss Burger while we were there.
Oh, yeah. Did we do junk food in Japan yet?
I don't know. Probably.
Because we would have talked about Moss Burger there.
Yeah, and Moss Burger is pretty excellent, and they have them in Australia, so that's pretty cool.
And I've probably said it before, and I'll say it again. The Yakiniku rice burger is the best thing you will ever eat in a fast food restaurant.
I think it's the first time you ever said the word burger and not burger.
Baga. Yakiniku rice burger.
Yeah.
That's how you say it. That's the Japanese for it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was definitely another great thing about Australia. The other thing that I tried was what's that with the what is it called again, with the fruit and the broken up meringue?
Pavlova.
Pavlova.
Yeah, that's Australian.
That is an excellent Australian sort of dessert.
They had a Pavlova
McFlurry. One of the greatest things I could possibly.
And one with a flake bar in it too.
Yeah. The McFlurries there were really good. They had like some crazy flavors, but they didn't have lamb burgers, but I think they had something else at McDonald's there that was a little different.
The lamb burgers was in New Zealand.
Yeah, lamb burgers was in. But
bad idea though.
But the
preview.
The Pavlova is in the traditional sense. It's basically broken up pieces of meringue, like cooked meringue, with like fruit and sauces and stuff in it, and it can be done in so many different ways. But in McDonald's, they had a Pavlova McFlurry, which had passion fruit and broken up pieces of meringue in ice cream, which is an amazing, brilliant idea. And it should have taken off. It's just great. It was amazing. I loved it, and I absolutely wish that I could try that again. And it was a limited thing in Australia at the time, so hopefully it's still there. But
I don't really like meringue, and I very rarely eat ice cream, so I have nothing to say right now.
Okay, well, what can I say?
But what I do have to say, and this is not junk food, but it's definitely food, and it's definitely something that everybody should try in Australia, with the possible exception of Chris, because he doesn't like this particular food. Pub roast lamb. Yum. Like, yum.
Why is Australian lamb so much better than other lamb?
I don't know. New Zealand lamb's pretty good, and Quebec lamb is excellent.
Okay. I don't know what makes good lamb, because I don't really like lamb. It's all yucky to me.
Tenderness, folly-get-partiness, flavor, sort of lack of gaminess.
To me, lack of gaminess in a lamb would just be beef.
Yes, but very, very tender, juicy beef.
Yeah, I'm not a big lamb person.
No. I love lamb. Is my favorite meat, and lamb is one of the few meats that has really not been tampered with too much, with like the hormones and the injections and the weird feeds and all this stuff that's supposed to be not really good for humans, but the agro industry has. Yeah, but yeah, lamb is apparently one of the healthiest sort of non-intervened meats around.
Speaking of sort of indirectly related food, one of the best food stores, like kitchen stores, Victoria's Basement.
Oh, Victoria's Basement. If you are into kitchen porn,
define kitchen porn just in case.
Like housewares, well, kitchenwares.
Kitchenwares, okay.
Like gadgets and fun stuff, like not appliances, but like gadgets. Gadgets are so much fun.
Yeah.
So if you like the kitchen porn, Victoria's Basement is definitely the place to go. It's somewhere in Sydney, and
it's in Victoria. It's like
Victoria Square.
Something like that. It's like Victoria Mall, or it's like a shopping center. If you say it in Australia, they'll know or in Sydney, they'll know what you're talking about. And the basement, it sounds like it should be where you buy lingerie, but it's all just this entire basement of the department store is just kitchen stuff, and it's like you can barely walk in there, and you can barely walk. It's so packed with stuff.
We got so much fun stuff there. We got these like crazy silicone egg poacher things and
I think we got a tea
Funny
thing.
ducky tea balls.
Yeah, yeah. The other, another thing popped in my head about Australian food: pies.
Yes.
They have.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Street meat pies.
Yes, the best one, the one we were told to go to.
Wollongong.
Wollongong. It's near the water, and it's near where Russell Crowe lives.
Yeah, it's in Sydney. It's just one of the Sydney neighborhoods.
Yeah, and so it's a truck that sells meat pies, and the meat pies are cool because they cover them with like, it's like a meat pie, and I think there's mashed potato and then smushed peas.
Oh, they're so good.
So good.
Why? They're terrible for you. They are like the quintessential junk food.
Yeah, there's nothing good. Like, there's not a diet that is good with that.
No.
You know, low carb, you got the crust. Low fat, you got like the meat and all the junk they put in it.
And the gravy.
Butter and gravy. Yeah, they put gravy. The thing about this that sort of, we've been to the UK and we've had
1 million calories.
We've had mushed peas before, and they're okay, but it's never like fantastic. But on a meat pie, it is fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're really, really good.
That is what mushy peas are designed for.
And like meat pie from a shack. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Like to me, meat pie belongs in a pub or like some sort of traditional British or Quebec restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's traditional, but just as a pub.
Or like a Robbie Burns night dinner.
No, that's mutton and whiskey and haggis.
Still, you
need the whiskey to make the haggis palatable.
I guess so, but pies are generally something you'd expect, and something like that, but
not from a shack on the street.
It's unbelievable. It is one of the greatest things you can possibly do.
Yeah.
You know.
And what else did we eat? We went out to when we went to the Outback near Ayers Rock, we just had a brilliant barbecue.
Yeah. Because meat is very good in Australia. In general, like if you're a meat eater, you're going to find a lot of like red meat that's quite high quality. And one of the lucky things that we came across was we were out in the Outback in sort of this resorty area near Ayers Rock, and we had decided to get cabins, which meant that we had barbecues that we could use. And so what we did is we decided to, we went to this, there was like one store, it was horribly overpriced because it's the only store within like, 10-hour drive.
800 miles.
Yeah. So then we happened to go there, and they happened to have a bunch of steaks that they were selling off cheap.
Half price.
Yeah.
And really good quality steaks, like, rib.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rib.
I think they were ribeyes, or they were something, porterhouse maybe.
Maybe.
They were excellent cuts and affordable.
Yeah. So we got those, and then that's when I taught you the secret.
Oh, it's a brilliant secret.
Okay, this is a barbecuing trick, and I know this has nothing to do with Australia in particular.
Especially for people traveling when you don't have access to all of your accoutrements.
So normally when you barbecue, particularly if it's on like a pan or something, or if you're cooking, or if you just want to sort of add some oil, buying oil is difficult. Like you can't buy a little thing of oil. You always have to buy a big thing. You end up wasting a bunch. Buying seasonings is difficult because you often buy spices and you have to buy a large amount, and then you end up with leftovers. A little easier to take home, but still, like, you may not necessarily want to buy it. I say you cut this all out, and what you do is you buy Italian salad dressing, and you use that as a marinade. It's spiced, it's got vinegar to add a little bit of a sort of an acid, and it's got the oil that you can cook on. So you get all of that together. There's a bit of sugar in it, which can sometimes not be great. But it's a great way that if you're traveling, and you'll use a lot more of it, so you're going to end up with a lot less waste. And if you're having a salad with it too, you just put it on your salad too, and so it's like a one-stop shop. I used to use that too. I used to cook tomatoes and make a tomato sauce on a barbecue with Italian dressing and chopped up tomatoes. That works really well too.
Really?
Yeah, you put like a bit of basil too, and you do it. It's almost like a salsa type thing, and you cook it on your barbecue in like a little envelope, tinfoil.
We have been married for 12 and a half years, and you've never done this for me.
We've never had a gas barbecue.
Point taken.
So there you go. But yeah, so going out in the Outback and frying some steaks is probably the most manly thing I've ever sort of been a part of.
Watched.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I did the marinating.
Yeah, you did. You were a very good marinator.
So, but yeah, that's the manliest thing I think ever.
You marinated so that your wife could grill a steak in the Outback. I'll take it.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, like I said, Australia has some great candy, all kinds of stuff to eat. High quality, like British level of quality of chocolate bars, but different.
Don't they have some candies too, like harder candies that you really like?
They call them lollies.
Lollies, some lollies. Do they call them lollies there?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Don't know.
I think so.
I've never really had a lolly or candy discussion with an Aussie.
I'm trying to think of the other. I mean, there's again
tea. They love to drink tea, and they don't call it tea. If they want to ask you if you want to drink some tea, they say, "Would you like a cuppa?"
Yeah.
Because it's a cup of tea.
But yeah, candy-wise, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. Again, I'm getting kind of confused with New Zealand, and because there's pineapple lumps, there's Jaffas.
Curly Whirlies?
Curly Whirlies are British.
Are they British?
Yeah.
Flakes are British.
Flakes are British.
But Flakes in a McFlurry, or was it a Dairy Queen treat? The flake.
Might have been. But yeah, I'll be honest, I get confused about a lot of that, and so maybe I'll just wait for the New Zealand one, which I think is going to be a shorter episode.
We also, for the very first time, bought avocado oil in Australia.
And since then, it's like a staple. Yeah.
You couldn't really find it in Canada when we left Canada.
Yeah.
So now it's at Costco. So
yeah,
it's pretty easy.
We were using avocado oil before it was cool.
Before it was Kirkland.
We're the hipsters of oils.
We do have a bottle of mustard oil in our kitchen right now.
Yeah, we do. But
which we need to open. It's gonna go bad.
Wow, that's way off topic.
I know. Well, you know what? We went to Australia literally 5 years ago, and so.
Almost to the day.
We were in Australia 5 years ago today, so it's kind of like food-wise, kind of fading.
Right. It's actually we'll be probably closer to our next visit than we were to that visit.
Yeah, probably.
We might have to record another episode.
Maybe we'll do another one. We'll pay more attention this time and maybe take some notes.
Yeah. But I think Australia, it is a good foodie place. You'll
Lamb, Moss Burger, candy, chocolate candy.
Yeah.
Caramel Koalas.
Pavlova.
A Malaysian fast food. Who knew?
Pies.
Street pies.
Yeah.
Street shack pies.
Really, you don't think of Australia as being a great food place, but it truly is.
Expensive.
Very expensive. Not only expensive to get there, but expensive once you're there.
Yeah.
So.
Just a note. If you think you're going to have a bargain junk food culinary experience, then go somewhere else.
I think the meat pies on the street were like over $5.
I think they were like quite expensive.
So as always, you can follow us at Candy Critic on Twitter, or go to www.candycritic.org and find links to all of our other social media. You can also go to candycritic.org/junkfood, JUNKFUD, and find links to past episodes of this podcast, as well as our
much better episodes,
as well as our video show and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're working on. I think that's all I got. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I tried to do the twist, but I got tangled up. It takes two to tango with a paper cup. There's a brand new dance that's sweeping the kitchen. I can do the locomotion, but where's the beef? The bony macaroni just gets stuck in my teeth. Perhaps a mashed potato's great, but why need we discriminate? Do the food, 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 do the food. Somebody scream! All the ladies in the house say, I wish I had never been born. I wish I had never been born. All the fellas in the house say, somebody please stop this